Yeah, Chelsea drew 2-2 with League One side Wrexham in a pre-season friendly earlier this morning, but all the talk has been centred around one man, Enzo Fernandez. The racism storm exploded again yesterday as it spilled over into the Olympic Games. The Argentina Olympic football team were booed and pelted with firecrackers and plastic bottles. They lost 2-1 to Morocco. Chelsea captain Reece James faced the media yesterday ahead of the game with Wrexham and was asked about the Fernandez situation.
No, it's obviously a really difficult situation. I think Enzo, acknowledged he'd done wrong and quickly, put his hand up and apologised to, the club, the team, and the people offended.
Is that where you're going to have to do some work as the captain of the team to make sure that to mend the rift and what's happened?
Well, I mean, he hasn't arrived yet, so I don't know if there's anything to amend. I'll have to make that judgment when he comes back in, but I hope everyone will be on the same page and can kind of move forward from the situation.
Yeah, for more on this, we're joined by the 2000 FA Cup winner with Chelsea, Mario Melchiot. Morning, Mario.
Mario, how are you, pal?
I'm good, man, guys. Good to see you.
Yeah, look, I really appreciate you coming on, mate. It's always nice to speak to you. Look, obviously this situation for Chelsea's not a good one. Enzo's got this one completely wrong. And how did I get past it? Can he recover?
I think look, things like this, we're living in a world where things like this happen. For me, I think for him the only way to get past it, if he didn't understand what position he puts himself in, or if he had put himself in, I think it needs to be put in really clear to him, because sometimes I think people are not aware how much pain they do to others when things like this happen. And I think someone needs to make him understand that you have hurt some people. And I know for the ones that probably will jump out to say, this is just a little song and it doesn't matter, it's because you don't experience racism. But when you experience it, it hurts. It doesn't hurt like a little thing. It hurts inside. It hurts inside of your heart. You don't want to be in part of it. So I think the conversation has to be really open it up, speak to the kid, see what his reaction is. You understand? And make him, because if you're proud and singing that song in front of your teammates while you're winning something, and I think it's a great trophy what they won, don't get me wrong, but then you also have to be proud and say to stand in front of your teammates that you heard and explain it to them.
Yeah, Mario, look, it puts the coach in a difficult position. The job's hard enough as it is for Enzo Maresca. Walking into something like this where he's got to try and get everybody together. He wants the team harmony to be good. He wants everyone happy, smiling, and looking forward to making a really strong start to the campaign. He could well do without this.
Yeah, no, definitely. I saw Enzo, Maresca answering to that question. He kind of answer it really kind of like saying, listen, I want to get it over really quickly because I don't want to stand it. So that's why you saying that, Andy, it makes so much sense, because this is not the time to be in a situation like that. And also what I don't understand is, sometimes I ask myself the difficulty that people have with certain colors. I don't understand that, I mean, when you have a color that's I'm a black kid. And I never had a problem with it. So for someone to highlight something that they're already aware of from when I was born, I don't think we should jump on that. So that's why I think it needs to move on. Have the conversation with him, make him understand. You understand? Maybe in different countries, some things, how you want to put it, it still doesn't matter if it's allowed to say certain things there, but then you come to another one, and then why are you talking, even singing a song about a French team that wasn't even competing with you? So for me, I really don't understand it. So I will never agree with racism. It doesn't matter who you are. So I hope they pick this up really seriously. Make him understand, like I said in the beginning, make him understand how many people he hurt, because I don't want it, because if it was the other way around, I would say the same thing. Don't hurt people when it's not necessary. Just enjoy your party because you won one of the greatest trophies, you understand, in your area with your national team.
Mario, obviously, if you was at Chelsea now, you was in the dressing room, you've seen, I think 10 of them unfollowed him on social media. He's going to come back, I think on the 29th of July, he's due back to pre-season with the guys. Would you be, how would you deal with it in terms of in the dressing room? Would you get together with the lads and say, right, let's sit him down, or would you phone him and have a private meeting away from the training ground? How would you address that situation as a player who really, he's offended yourself?
Yeah, I had meetings as well. I mean, when I was captain, for example, at Birmingham or at Wigan, I would sit in the dressing room. Make sure you call the guys that felt sensitive about the situation. Make them say what they felt about it, how they look at it, and then make Enzo give his answer. You understand? Because the quicker we get this over, the quicker we can get going on with what we really have to focus on. And the focus should not be on this. It should be focusing on getting the season started as good as you can. Because the longer you wait on, and if you're gonna give him a phone call, the phone call, I don't think it's really clear. I think you have to be man enough to stand face to face and have that conversation, and then we move on. Because a phone call, I will not do the phone call, because the phone call is the easy way, and I will not want to make it an easy way. I want to make things clear. Stand in front of each other. Let's go.
Yeah. It's a really good appointment, and I think that's exactly what they should do. Look, let's talk a bit of Chelsea. Chalobah is on his way out. I really like him, Mario. I think he's a good player. They're obviously having to get rid of a few to balance the book, it seems. How do you think the business is going with Todd Boehly?
It's a difficult thing. Why? Because they put a lot of pressure on it, in the sense of, like, I always said that when the players were coming in, of course, I knew that Chelsea needed to refresh certain things. But when they went so quick, I always said slow down a little bit. I do have to say that I keep on, adding and moving things around and making smart moves, because you could see what they did with the hotel, putting it in a situation where moving the hotel away, so giving more space in the sense of the freedom of spending. But what I feel is that when you get new players, sometimes Chelsea has to be careful that it doesn't take too long for them to fit into the system what they want them to play in. Because the longer it takes, if I look at, okay, let's say we highlight a different team, like a City or whatever, and I don't want to compare them to City because they're not at that level yet. But when you look at teams like that, they get players that fit into that system straight away. It doesn't take them almost a whole season or 2 seasons for them to really start playing the game that you expect them to play. And I think Chelsea has to be aware of that. It cannot take that long for players to really enter in your system and play well.
All right, Mario, it's always a pleasure, mate. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, guys.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.